The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Haason Reddick might have a new agent. At least Aaron Rodgers might have revealed that during his conversation today on the Pat McAfee Show. Plus, Davante Adams, the rumors are out there. We'll talk about that and much more with Robby Sabo in his weekly spot. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
I felt great to be able to play an entire game in front of our amazing fans. Division opponent, felt like we started faster than we have. We were way more efficient. Got a lot of guys involved. A lot of guys made a lot of plays tonight. Felt like the line did a nice job up front. And when we had to, finish drives, we did a good job of that.
We talk about a style of playing, a standard, and relentless effort, and 11 hats to the ball, and I felt like we did that. We'll enjoy this one, but come Monday, it's on the Denver.
Because if the expectation is winning, then we're going to celebrate it, but we should expect to win. The next step is expecting to dominate.
Hey, Ray Romano here. Like I am every year. But this is the year!
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Yes, indeed it is. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in. Before we get started, if you're a Jet fan and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 39,000 subscribers after we just hit the 38,000 subscriber threshold last week. Thank you to everyone who takes time to watch each and every day. Please click that thumbs up button and like the video as we get started here. Reminder, if you're going to London, we announced plans for a big Asmaniac party this Saturday night before the game. Free event. You just got to RSVP with the link that I have posted in the description. So if you're a Jet fan going across the pond, come hang out with me and a bunch of Asmaniacs Saturday before the game. Joining us right now in his weekly spot on the show is probably the guest with the best hair we have on the program each and every week. The Silver Fox himself, Robby Sabo, joins us now. Hello, Robby.
What's this probably stuff? What is this probably stuff?
Definitely. I mean, look, you got some tremendous hair, my friend. There's no other way around it.
Hey, Francesa, me and Mikey boy Francesa, I may have hit the gray earlier than him, but we be styling in front of the mic, I got to say.
Here's your competition, right? Beningo, Parkinson, Fialco, Parles, Faria, Fireman Ed. He's a bald guy, so that you win that one by default. Or Boy Green. I think I'm taking you, Robby, amongst our weekly guests.
Yeah, I got the hair going for me. I'll say that.
Looking good.
Yeah,
looking damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
no hard hat. Sorry, Fireman Ed, but no hard hat.
Yeah, that is true.
Don't need it.
All right. I want to get to the Haason Reddick situation. I didn't think I'd be leading the show with this today, but I was watching Rodgers on Pat McAfee earlier. And in a long answer where Pat asked him about that BS story that came out right before the year started from the anonymous agent speaking with The Athletic about how the Jets have a bad culture, the locker room is in disarray, all this nonsense. So in a longer answer or question about that, Aaron Rodgers here might have revealed some new info about Haason Reddick and the fact that he might have fired his agent.
What is the behind the scenes like for the Jets? And whenever you push your head coach and tell him to go fuck himself, how does everybody handle it all? Aaron, how does everybody handle it?
I would say the culture is about the opposite of what that article said.
No.
I didn't read the article, but just reading that headline there, it sounds like it was written by Haason Reddick's agent in a way that, but former agent, I guess, possibly, in a way to try and disparage our great organization.
I mean, first off, McAfee with the question there about Rodgers and Salah was great. Rodgers' appearance today was awesome, so I definitely recommend people check it out. And by the way, shameless plug. You see the hat Rodgers is wearing? If you want the same hat, promo code Asman at HugaHouse.com. I'm wearing the same hat right now. All right. So if you want to look like Aaron Rodgers, you could get the same hat by using promo code Asman at checkout at HugaHouse.com. You'll save 15%. But Robbie, did Haason Reddick fire his agent? I mean, is that what happened here? Did Rodgers reveal that? Kind of. I don't think he did it on purpose. Like, he probably just didn't know that wasn't out there.
Yeah, there's two things with Rodgers, and you never know because of how dry his sense of humor is. And we saw it during the game. That little, push shove. Have we talked since then? I don't think so. That little push shove with Salah, everyone was losing their minds. He's unique. He's got a dry sense of humor. So it's either that is the case, there's trouble in paradise with Reddick and his agent, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, me and you have been in lockstep this entire time. Their strategy going at it this way is the most ridiculous, blithering fool type method strategy I've ever seen in my life, because the Jets aren't going to bend. Douglas is not going to bend. And you could only do this if the organization is going to bend. And, Reddick's probably standing there with his hands up in the air like I could be playing in front of, the NFL's arguably best pass coverage right now. And I'm not. Why? I mean, he knows why he wants more money, but he's going to be asking himself those questions because it's got to be frustrating for him right now. So it wouldn't be surprising to me, number one. But with Rodgers, you never know. And maybe because of the ridiculous report, he's deciding to fire back and throw out his own ridiculous report in real time to get everyone scrambling. Because as we all know, he loves to troll everybody.
Well, it's interesting because none of this has made any sense when it's come to Reddick. I wonder if he fired his agent because his agents were probably telling him, dude, what are you doing? Show up and at least get some of your money and have a big year. So then someone will pay you. And if you're an agent, you get commission off whatever the next contract is, of course. So I wonder if Reddick is so dug in
maybe
that he actually fired his agents because they were probably telling him what anyone with a brain would tell him. Dude, we know you're disgruntled. We know you're unhappy with your current contract, but show up, ball out. And guess what? Someone's going to pay you if you have another big season when you're an unrestricted free agent. He's had 11 or more sacks 4 years in a row. He's not doing that this year at this rate. So I don't know. I think it's interesting that he might have fired his agent, and maybe that's why there was some rumblings. Remember, Mike Lombardi had that report that he expects Reddick to show up, and he's probably not getting that from Reddick himself. He's getting that from his agent. I wonder if this is actually true, and Rodgers basically revealed something that maybe, behind closed doors with the Jets they all know, but it wasn't public to this point.
It's possible, but I think I lean on the side of the agent, that organization, that firm's history. And, the fans might know more than me, actually, this firm's history. I just know, I remember reading that there's been a pattern here with this agent's clients performing the same move time and again. Now, admittedly, I can't call out the specific instances, but that's where my head always went. Okay, this is their MO. This is how they operate. But, you could absolutely be right. It could be Reddick. We don't know.
None of this has made any sense. To this point, Haason Reddick has cost himself almost $9 million in fines and forfeitures and just lack of game checks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think at this point, we got to ask the question. I want your thoughts. Is Reddick ever going to play for the Jets?
Yes, because, listen, even if he's dug in to a certain point, because if he doesn't play, he's back to same contract, frozen for next year as a Jet. So he's going to play that minimum, 9 games to have it count. Fact check me on that. I think it's either 8 or 9. It might even be less. It might even be fewer.
I thought he had to show up by week 10 or week 11.
Yeah, what is it? Then 6 or 7 games? It might be a date.
That's the only thing that's so frustrating with this. There's been no clear, here's the situation. This is what it is. That hasn't come from anyone on the beat, any of the national guys who are covering this story.
Yeah.
There's been just absolutely nothing in regards to what the concrete rules are. We were led to believe that if Reddick didn't show up by Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day, he wouldn't be able to get his game check for that week. And Salah basically said, hey, you could show up on Friday and there's a chance he might play Monday. So none of this has made any sense from the beginning.
No, it doesn't. And But to the question, will he ever play for the Jets? I think so. I mean, I don't see any way around it because whatever the date is, he has to show up or he's in the same situation next year. Now there's a chance maybe he doesn't show up and, freezes himself out for a year, but that doesn't benefit him. He's a year older and he's got to bet on a trade and then having to either bet on a trade and get a new deal or bet on a trade, go to a new place and play out that final year. So, I think he'll be there sooner rather than later.
I don't know, man. I think he's so dug in, he might be dumb enough just to sit out the whole year and basically say, yeah, my contract's going to toll, but are the Jets just going to carry around my contract? Like, I don't know.
It's very possible, but I kind of have, you could see the Jets going on a run here in a positive direction with the pass coverage getting back and cementing itself. They kind of got back against New England, but cementing itself as the best in the league, in my opinion. And Reddick's, I want to say he's too smart to overlook that, but what he's doing makes me question that saying that, but I'll say it. He's too smart to overlook that, and it'll benefit him greatly. So I see him playing at some point this year.
If you're watching the show live, click the like button. To the 600 of you tuned in live right now, 1, thank you, and 2, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We made the announcement the other day. If you want the show in audio form, you now can find the Jake Asman Show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. The YouTube show remains live and free, but if you want the show in audio form, when we upload the full show later on, when we're done being live on YouTube, you can check it out on either Apple or Spotify. Leave a 5-star review and help us out there if you could be so kind. All right, Robbie. So that's the Reddick stuff, right? Rodgers' comments, kind of a little eye-opening on the agent stuff that we led the show with. How about the Davante Adams situation? You had a brutal loss by the Raiders. Yeah. You have Antonio Pierce afterwards saying players are making business decisions. Now, I don't think he was referring to Davante, but there was that video of Davante at halftime just looking really annoyed, pissed off, just couldn't believe how bad they were against Andy Dalton and the Panthers. The reason why I don't think he was referring to Davante is Davante was so instrumental in Antonio Pierce getting that job, right? Like Davante vouched for him. He likes Pierce. I don't think it was Davante he was talking about. I think he was talking about players on the Raiders defense. That said, the Raiders, if they continue to lose and they fall out of it, the trade speculation's only going to be heightened. Your thoughts on where things are with Davante and the Raiders going forward?
It's it's still 3 weeks early. It's still 3 weeks into the season, so it's early, and Raiders have been hot, they've been cold, they've been up, they've been down. It's like that for a lot of teams, but if you're a Jets fan, you want to root for Raiders trending downwards because that is the only potential way he's going to get out of Vegas and come to the Jets. So the other thing is Pierce, to your point, he's the type of coach. A lot of guys love him. He fits into that Parcells-esque type coach where you could either love him or hate him. He'd make a great radio host. I mean, I think you'd be the first to admit that. You either love him or hate him, and if things get terrible, I could absolutely see Davante making noise in terms of getting out of there. Right now, no, I don't think Pierce was thinking or talking about him whatsoever. I think it was more in generalities in terms of what Pierce was doing after the game. That's fresh on your mind. You're frustrated. You're trying to send a message to the team. So Davante specifically, no, but every week that passes, if things aren't going good for the Raiders, it becomes more of a possibility for sure.
What do you say to the Jet fans who are like, we don't need Davante, we're good?
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Need and potential avenues are completely different things. So, you take Davante in a heartbeat because what you could do with Davante, Garrett, and Breece on the field at the same time, you could line up Breece anywhere and watch Breece. They already line him up at receiver a lot, but it's going to happen a lot more as the weeks go on. With Braylon in the backfield, Breece lined up wide, Conklin in ISO situations because Rodgers loves to see the field. And if you put tight ends and backs out wide, you get a really, really great look at what the coverage is. But yeah, with Davante, Garrett, and Breece, that's ridiculous. And you want that.
Raiders are 1-2. They'll play the Browns at home this week. Then they're in Denver, then home versus the Steelers. So the next three, we'll learn a lot about this team because those are some winnable games for them in theory. If they lose those games and they fall out of it, their schedule right before the trade deadline, it doesn't get any easier. In fact, this is where it gets really hard. At Rams, home Chiefs, at Bengals, although the Bengals, I mean, they look terrible right now, but, still, it's not an easy schedule. Like, they entered the year projected to be underdogs, and I think out of their first 10 games, 8 of them. So if they're 3-6 at the trade deadline, Davante's not going to be a Raider next year. He's got the largest cap hit in the NFL for any non-quarterback next season. None of his money's guaranteed. So they're definitely going to move him. The question is it going to be the Jets that acquires him? And I'll tell you what, if he's available, the Jets are going to get him. I don't think it's going to cost a first. I don't even think it's going to cost a second. I think it starts with a conditional 3. The Jets wisely picked up an extra third in the draft. So I've been saying this for months. If the Raiders are out of it and the Jets are the team that they look like they're about to be, Davante Adams has a strong chance. I think it's more likely than not he's a Jet by the end of the year.
I'm getting close to that perspective. See, the Raiders are weird. I didn't think they'd collapse this year. Based on the talent that they have. I mean, they're not loaded, but I didn't think they'd be a disaster team. I respect Pierce. However, what could make them a disaster team is the strategy end. Pierce is good in terms of motivation, in terms of relationships, all that stuff. But just like I said, he's hot and cold. There's no middle ground with him. That leaves possibilities that his club could turn into an outright disaster, either a great surprise or an outright disaster. So, I gotta familiarize myself with the Raiders a bit more because I'm kind of flying blind here. I didn't think they could be a disaster, but the more that time goes on, I think it's possible.
7 games till the trade deadline. Trade deadline's on November 5th. So,
man, remember the back of the day when it was like week 5, week 4 of the trade deadline? Yeah. That was one of the best under the radar moves Goodell made.
I mean, it's just if they're out of it. He's not going to be there next year. I mean, he's got a $44.1 million cap hit. Once again, it's the highest among all non-quarterbacks in 2025. And his contract is very easy for the Jets to absorb this year. They probably, in fact, would make the trade and then rework his contract to spread out his cap hit over the next couple of years to kind of align with this window with Rodgers as well. To me, it'd be a no-brainer. You know who'd benefit the most from Davante? Garrett Wilson. Good luck doubling Garrett Wilson now when you have Davante Adams opposite him.
Yeah, the salary is not an issue in my mind. It's a non-factor. They could work it out, especially with Rodgers there. It's the assets given up. How stubborn would Douglas be in that situation? I think that's the bigger hurdle.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're talking with Robby Sabo, co-founder of JetsXFactor.com. Does a great job covering the Jets. His podcast with Wayne Corbett is a must-listen each and every week. So if you're a Jet fan who's not checking out JetsXFactor.com every day, you're missing out. Become a JetX member. Use that promo code 80 and take advantage of everything that JetX has to offer. A couple super chats here. Then I want to get more into the game from last Thursday and start to look ahead to Denver. But first, let's say hello to Bobby Midnight, who's given us 1 channel membership. Oh, baby. Now, I'm having a hard time seeing who got Bobby's membership because the chat is just exploding right now. But if you got it, make sure you thank our guy Bobby. Actually, hold on. Found it. Eric Losi is the recipient of the channel membership there. So great job by Bobby paying it forward. We love that, Bob. Ryan Green writes in with a super chat. Insane. Hold out a year. Players rarely return as good. Only 2 over 30. Palmer and Lynch did anything after a year holdout. Reddick ending his career. Yeah, I mean, that's why he maybe fired his agent if Aaron Rodgers was onto something there. I think his agents were probably like, dude, what are you doing? And Reddick is too dug in, and I think he's getting bad advice from family or friends, or maybe just he won't listen to those people either. I don't know. But I just don't understand from the beginning how he thinks how he has handled business to this point is going to ultimately get him what he wants, which is more money.
I would say the one positive I'd say about Reddick in his situation is that nobody knows anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the lone positive I'll say. Like whatever his strategy truly is, or whatever is in his heart, no one knows a damn thing. So from that end, good job. But I mean that can even come close to replacing what a botched job it is on their end. Now, if the Jets lose to Denver, we're singing a different tune, but I don't anticipate that happening. And again, Salah's calling card, maybe even more Jeff Ulbrich, is developing these guys up front. And they've done it for years now. Bryce Huff hasn't gotten off to a hot start in Philly. I'm telling you, they're going to do it with Taylor. Taylor has something. I'm still shocked they didn't dress him in the first 2 weeks, with Leaky out especially. Haven't seen much of Watts. McKinley is back. He hasn't really done much, but I think he's gonna show something before the season is over. And McGregor too. So they can get by. And by the way, Clemens has slowly been, improving's a word you could use, but he's slowly been fitting in doing and performing and executing his role better than I've seen ever from him. Now, there's a lot of things you still want to see from him, but in terms of improvement, I want to give him a shout out.
I think he's actually played pretty well the last 2 games, to be honest.
He has. And the problem with his role and why he's so polarizing is his role is not a splash role. It's a big edge type role on base. And now without JJ, he's going to be in sub a lot more, rushing from the edge or, even moving inside sometimes if they put Quinn in outside. But he's more of a decoy role in the pass rushing. So fans aren't going to say, hey, Clemens got a sack. It's not going to really happen. He's the decoy guy in the gaming up front. So I think he's been pretty solid.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight with another channel membership being gifted. For those of you who are curious, the Bobby bathrobe emoji will go live when we get 6 more members. We didn't get it in the first show today. We've gotten 2. We need 6 more channel memberships, and our latest channel emoji will be live. And then once we get the Bobby bathrobe emoji rolling, the Robby Sabo emoji.
Look at that. That's a hideous. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Gator made this one. So
that is beautiful.
Oh, man. So keep that in mind, folks. Super chat here from Michael, who says, I think Adams thinks Rodgers is the only quarterback he trusts to get him a Super Bowl now. I don't know if it's just that. I think he sees the writing on the wall that Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, their schedule coming up, they're not going to be a good team this year. They're just not. They don't have enough.
Yeah, it's, familiarity is huge. And, at his age, how old is Davante now? 31, 32?
31, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at his age, at Rodgers' age, where they're at in their career, Davante doesn't have a
31.
Yeah, Davante wasn't there when they won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I can't think of another situation where he'd rather want to go other than the Jets and Rodgers. It just doesn't even come close. So, from that end, yeah, it's a perfect fit.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Shout out to the 700 plus who are tuned in right now. Peter Castro says, Lazard will take us to the ball. Well, let's not forget, Robbie, the career renaissance for Alan Lazard all started when Peter Castro gifted us a $500 super chat after a June OTA practice.
It is true. 500 beans. And he stayed married too, I heard, which is a shocker.
He did.
Yeah, I had September 10th as the over-under in the clubhouse. It didn't work out.
Oh, man. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. Keep sending them in. Going back to the game last Thursday, I mean, you talk about quarterback play. My God, was that remarkable. What did you make of what we saw on the field from Aaron Rodgers against the Pats?
Yeah, I'm looking at rewatching the film today because I just glanced it over since Thursday, and the dude's tremendous. I mean, I still think fans are gobsmacked at what they're seeing. He's also moving around. I mean, that was one of the big questions I got from Jets fans this summer. Will Rodgers be able to still move around? And I thought so, yes. I mean, he'll never be the guy he used to be. It's just never going to happen at age 40. I don't care who you are or, what sport you're in. But that's okay. I mean, he could still move around. He could still get it done. He even took a shot. Someone went low on him near the sideline. I forgot who it was. When he was, kind of messing around, he should have just got out of bounds or slid. So, again, with Rodgers, with elite quarterbacks in the modern era, Manning, Brady, Rodgers, there's no one thing they do in terms of identity. It's always a take what the defense gives you type thing. And when some people hear that, they say, oh, well, of course, Captain Obvious, John Madden, you take what the defense gives you. But it's so much more, there's so many more fine details in that. And what he does at the line is just, it's perfect. It's like a maestro, and you just keep rolling with it.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if he's going to play that great every single game, right? There's ebbs and flows to this, even for Aaron Rodgers. But what we saw on Thursday, the mobility, I think, was the most impressive aspect because we didn't really see that at all first 2 games. Rodgers talked about it on McAfee today. They just felt like he needed a couple games to kind of be himself again and prove to himself. It's like, oh, yeah, I still got it. And
Yes.
he talked about that. Is it sustainable now going forward? Are we going to see like that version of Rodgers, the quarterback, for this team going forward? Because if the answer is yes, this team can reach every goal and then some that we as Jet fans have.
I think the answer is yes. I mean, the only way you won't see that is if teams decide to, all the DCs in the league decide to turn into Rex Ryan and start blitzing him like crazy. But that's not going to be the case because when you blitz him, you get cut up. You get destroyed.
He'll cook you. He knows where to get the ball out.
Absolutely. So what are you going to do then? If you don't blitz, you turn your attention to, okay, he's mobile. Don't rush past the quarterback. Responsible, contain lanes. If you do that, he'll hurt you too. So you only do that against Lamar and other guys and Fields. So if you do that, he kills you. You can't afford to do that against his arm, against his mind. So when you're rushing 4 regularly, traditionally, he's going to be able to move and he's going to find those lanes to move. So to the long answer, but the answer to your question is yes, I think he's going to be that Rodgers all year.
How about the game plan by the defense last Thursday, Robbie? They blitzed more times in that game than they ever had in any game since Robert Saleh was the head coach. I loved the approach, loved the execution. Yep.
You were all over it when we talked last week, and kudos to them. One of my big gripes, Saleh, he has positives, he has negatives. His great positives, I think, are personnel, eye for personnel, development, culture, communication. The discipline factor is still up in the air with the penalties. They're still committing a lot of stupid penalties, but there's trust there between him and his players. His players play hard for him. The negatives, the questions I have are strategy. And the fact that they did that right from the get-go in a situation where a lot of fans called for it, a lot of pundits called for it, and a situation where New England
Am I a
wasn't ready.
pundit or a fan? How would you describe me?
Both. You're hybrid all the way.
Both pundit and fan. Got it.
You're a pundit and fan. And dude, they blitzed him from the get-go, and Brissett had no shot. Like took his soul. You could tell right away they were game planning for the regular Jets.
Dude, the opening drive, Quincy's coming untouched on a linebacker blitz, or it was Sherwood, one of them. I'm like, it's gonna be a long night for Brissett if they can't block that. Good luck.
That's what happens when you mix in a little chameleon strategy into what your identity already is. Other teams aren't used to it. They're not game planning for it. So if you could pull that off on top of who you are already, and you feel comfortable in who you are already, forget about it. I mean, I'm not going to have many complaints about Saleh, if any.
No, they dominated, man. I mean, time of possession, they had the ball for 40 minutes. I mean, a lot of the Patriots' yardage there of the 139 was on that final drive in garbage time when the Jets pulled the starters at that point. I mean, this was an ass kicking of all ass kickings. They could have had even more. I mean, 24-3 doesn't even accurately depict the butt whooping they put on them. Think about it. You had the missed field goal at the end of the first half. Mike Williams almost had another touchdown there. There were a couple plays, Aaron and Garrett were just a little off that could have led to more explosives. The opening drive, Rodgers is 6 for 6. They're going right down the field, and there was a BS holding call on Morgan Moses that killed that drive. So they dominated, and they could have had even more points if they just executed a couple more plays.
Yes, and they came out passing right from the get-go. I think first play was a play action boot.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't from an open, empty look. They went, regular Jets MO, 11 personnel or 12 personnel, whatever it was, single back, play action. So you don't have to, you could pounce on the opponent in a number of different ways. It doesn't have to be always the same way. And notice they still haven't run the ball really, really well yet this year. Solid, and it's getting better. But it went from awful in San Fran, not great to start the Tennessee game, to pretty solid. And it kind of went that way after they started passing the ball a little bit. Once Rodgers got his legs under him and started dissecting the defense, then the running game started to open up, and the momentum and everyone being comfortable is going to keep going.
No doubt. No doubt. If you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. What I say? I think I said we needed 7 more memberships for Bobby Bathrobe to become a thing. So become an Asmaniac, folks. If you're watching on your laptop or desktop, hit that join button and become an Asmaniac, or make sure you turn on gift receipts so someone can send you a channel membership. All right, let's talk about the Denver game, and then we'll take some calls with you, Robbie. Broncos come to town. Jets are a 7 or 7.5 point favorite, depending on what sports book you're looking at. How do you feel about this Broncos team that did surprise many by going into Tampa and taking down a 2-0 Bucs team this past Sunday?
I don't feel, if I'm the Jets, I'm not really nervous. The one wild card is Sean Payton. You see Salah's in an interesting spot. This is a tricky spot as a head coach. Coming off a Thursday, a butt whipping at home. Home teams on Thursday have the real, very serious advantage. Not much went wrong on tape. If you're a coach, you want to win, but have some things to complain about. Nothing was there. Now they have a mini bye. What has he been harping on all week is the question. It's only Tuesday, so he still got 3 days of install. But that's the question, and I don't know. We're going to know right from the get-go. Are they ready to play? Are they fired up? Do they have that ambition and aggressiveness? I think that's going to be the key. More than strategy this week is going to be ready to go from the jump. And I'm not, honestly, I don't rarely say this, but I'm not too concerned with what Denver does. This is one of the weeks where I think Salah has to focus on making sure his team does what they do because of the circumstance.
I like the Denver one because I don't think the Jets now could overlook the Broncos, because the Jets coaches could say, look what they just did to a 2-0 team. Like, it's the NFL, man. You got to come ready to play. So I like the Denver's coming in off a win. I also think the game script, the game plan, very similar to last week, right? You have a huge advantage at quarterback. You're at home. If they get a 2-score lead, the route could be on again. Like, I think it's a very similar path to victory here. Get up early, come out ready to play. And if you build a 2-score lead, Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers could figure out if they want to chest pound or hug it out on the sideline this time around. And the Jets should be able to win this game going away.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Vance Joseph, he's been around the block, even with the Jets back in the mid-90s. I remember a game he had to play because they were so hurt at corner, and it was a primetime national game, and the color commentator, I forgot who it was like, oh, they just brought Vance Joseph on the street, and he was getting torn up left and right. So he's been around the block, and he's aggressive. So I think you're right, Jake, that the first 15 for the Jets is going to have to be aggressive again. Now, does Vance Joseph shock them and surprise them and do something different and play it really soft? I doubt it. But if they do, Rodgers could easily switch that up. It's not going to be a problem. So I would come up with the same mindset, if only to keep my team on its toes.
2-score lead. That's, to me, the key, right?
Like 2-score lead. What did you think about that exchange? I don't know if I heard you. I saw the Joe B spot, but I don't know. I don't remember what you said about that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the full angle that the Jets themselves posted, and it's clear that it's a nothing burger, right? I heard Aaron, asked about it today, and he expanded on it that, he loves Salah, and they had a good laugh about it after the game. I think it's nothing, man. I think those two have a really good relationship, and it's just kind of funny how it played out. And you know what? If Aaron Rodgers can't stand Robert Saleh, but he plays like he did on Thursday, does anyone actually care? Salah's job is to get the defense ready to roll. Rodgers handles the offense. They're going to win a lot of games. Yeah,
I agree. It's completely nothing. We got to remember who Rodgers is. He has a dry sense of humor. He could, in a lot of ways, he could be an actor. Yep. And it was kind of one of those, I'm misunderstood at times who I am, because I have a dry sense of humor too, where people think I'm being serious when I'm joking around. So I completely relate to that type of situation. It's nothing. And it harkened back to a conversation they had during the week, or a repeated conversation in terms of strategy where they were working together. And Salah said, all right, 2-score lead. Let's go. Yep. No big deal.
Yeah. I mean, the full clip that Amazon didn't show, but the Jets themselves, is like, they're dapping each other up. And then you had that moment.
Yeah. I saw that. Yep.
So, I also have this I wanted to play for you, Mr. Sabo.
What? Could I have a hug?
No.
Give me a hug.
No way.
Come here.
I'm not coming over there.
Let's go.
Forget it.
Pronto.
What are you doing?
Hug. Get away from me, you lazy-eyed psycho.
we know that Nate Hackett loves Austin Powers, so there you go.
That's right. It's Goldmember, though, which was by far the worst of the three of the trilogy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Someone disagrees. They're out of their minds, but Yeah, that brings me back to a finer day in my life, a finer era of high school, college, what have you.
960 of you are tuned in right now. Thanks for the love. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're having record viewership in September. We hit 38,000 subscribers. We're on pace to have our highest grossing and most viewed month. So I want to thank the audience. Thank the Asmaniacs, baby, for coming through, for the incredible support. Our guy Tim is in the chat. He sends in a super chat. This is Tim in Fishland. Will there be more blitzing with the coverage as good as it is? Look, that's why we wanted them to blitz, right? You have Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and Michael Carter. Blitz, get home. Challenge these quarterbacks who are either not good or inexperienced, and these teams don't have great weapons. Now, Denver's got Cortland Sutton, but that's kind of it. Like, none of their weapons really scare you here. Like, I think the game plan should be a little similar on Sunday to what we saw last Thursday.
Yeah, and you got a rookie at quarterback. So, truth be told, I haven't really dug into Denver film yet, but he's still a rookie quarterback. So this is the best thing. Coming off a game where you blitzed and you did the opposite of who you usually are on defense, now has the Denver Broncos and Peyton guessing. They don't know what you're going to do coming out this week. So that is the best part about it. You're already ahead in that regard. But in terms of an actual game plan, I'd be shocked if it's as much pressure as we saw against New England. But I'd also be shocked if they return back to their usual selves. I think a happy medium is what we'll see.
Andrew Fialco in the house. Sup, gang? Are you a
Andrew.
Fialco fanatic, Mr. Sabo?
Oh, yeah. Fialco's film, baby.
You did a great job yesterday. It was basically jet porn for an hour.
Nice.
Junio Rudy just became an official Asmaniac. Let's go, Junio. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Shout out to Justin Pugh for coming through to the L5 tailgate on Thursday.
What got burned? So I missed it. By the way, it took me like 3 hours to get to the stadium. I was looking forward to going to L5, seeing Jake, and I was miserable in traffic. What got burned? What did I miss?
What got burned, you might ask?
Yeah.
Here's what got burned.
This fan base in the NFL. These guys are out of their mind.
Drake May's jersey got burned. That's what got burned.
Okay. Drake May. I get it. That's a good move. Hey, and it worked out. I mean, geez. They might have to burn a Drake May jersey before every game.
I think Zach Wilson is who they're burning this week. This is the one game I can't go to, unfortunately. But there will be a jersey burn at 11:30 a.m. for all the Asmaniacs who want to go.
And how about that? A 1 o'clock Sunday game at home? What is that? What is going on here?
This is the last 1 o'clock Sunday game the Jets have at MetLife until December.
Oh, my. Is it really?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
I was just thinking of Joe B dancing in the parking lot upon hearing that news, a 1 o'clock Sunday game, and then you hit me with that. Yeah, that's rough.
Well, think about it. Next game against the Bills after this one is a Monday night.
Right.
And then what? They play Halloween a Thursday night against Houston because they're on the road after that Bills game in Pittsburgh and then New England. And then it's Houston and then
Colts.
Colts are a home game. Yeah, it's these are all primetime games. It's crazy.
So what's the next one? Seattle?
I think either Seattle or the Rams game is the next 1 o'clock game.
It's Seattle, December 1st.
Yeah.
Man,
wow.
Oh, man.
I feel bad for the season ticket holder, but I think the season ticket holder also understands this is the price to pay to have a team that can win. And Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, you're in primetime.
Yeah, it sucks for tailgating, but there's a great positive to it. If your team's not playing at 1, you get to see the bulk of NFL. You get that 1 o'clock time slot, and you get to be a fan. So that's the great positive in it all.
A lot of red zone. No doubt about that.
Yep.
Today's Jake Asman Show presented by my guy, Joe DeVizio, and his team at Joe DeVizio Realty. Visit sellwithjoe.com. Joe is a diehard Jet fan. I met him at the Chargers game last year. His company is awesome. He's been such a great supporter of this show. So let's make it simple here. If you're a Jet fan who's thinking about selling your home, all right, give Joe a call. He and his team can help you. Whole house needs repairs. You're behind on payments. Whatever your situation is, Joe's the best at what he does. So check out the real estate website in my description for the video you're watching right now, or just give him a call at 959-CALL-JOE, Once again, 959-CALL-JOE, or as you see on your screen, visit sellwithjoe.com. Robbie, are you?
Divisio, was that Irish?
It sounds Italian to me, no?
Yeah, I was joking. See, I'm like Aaron Rodgers. It's that you don't know. I got you coming and going at every turn.
I guess you do. I was fooled there. All right, you ready for some calls?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know who we're starting off with. He got paid by YouTube yesterday. So if you're wondering why this guy is now just making it rain with channel membership gift after channel membership gift, you know why.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Bobby. Braylon Allen, huh?
Yes. How you like that boy? He's doing good. He's a good boy. He's running his ass off. Yay. Woo. Look at me.
You were the first, Bobby.
Today. It's freezing here in Vermont. It's 56 degrees.
Have you put the heat on, Bobby? Have you figured that out?
Yes, I did, but I like to wear my robe. Yep. Okay, I'll show you a trick. See that blue thing over there? Do you see the blue thing?
The seat, the chair?
No, behind me. Do you see that blue thing right there?
The door?
Next to my closet, there's a blue little box.
Is that a poster?
No, that's those things you put in like ice boxes so you could keep everything cold.
Is that water sprinkler up on the top there?
Yeah, that's a water sprinkler. But the blue thing is to keep.
Is that a lamp? Is that a lamp behind you?
Yes. I'm trying to explain the thing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you see the blue thing next to the closet? Right there where my finger is.
Is that a phone? Is that a phone?
No, that's a blue thing. You put it in like an ice chest to keep everything cold. So the trick is to put that on the what's that thing that you keep the heat on? What's that thing called? The temperature. What is that thing?
Thermostat?
Thermostat, thank you. You put that on there and it stays all day and it keeps it warm.
So you got that cools down the thermostat, that little device?
No, it makes it warmer in here during the.
It keeps the thermostat alive.
Yes, because we lived. Me and my brother lived together, and downstairs we had a downstairs neighbor, Marty.
Where'd you get that thermostat from? Schenectady?
No, it was there already. But the trick is with our cheap apartments, the windows get so cold. You got to put that thing on, and it keeps.
So you're good now, though. Like you're.
Oh yeah, no, it's toasty in here now. Yeah, but I still like wearing my robe.
When are you going to take the robe off? You've been wearing it nonstop for 3 days in a row.
Because I love it. Here's a new shirt. I got my. Does it look like a thing anymore?
A U-neck? Oh, hold on, I went full screen on the wrong guy.
It doesn't look like a U-neck anymore, doesn't it?
Let's see. Stand up. Give us a twirl.
A twirl?
Yeah. Do you bite your collar? My brother had a habit of biting his collar when he was a kid. I don't know why.
No, I just stretched it out too much.
Oh.
So does it look good now? It's not like it used to be.
You look tremendous, Bob.
Okay, and then the Jets are gonna kill Denver this week. They don't have anything to give us. Their quarterback just got lucky against Tampa Bay. They got lucky as what. So I think we're gonna have an 8-sack game.
Ooh.
And then there's gonna be like 2 interceptions.
Ooh, who's getting the picks? Who's getting the interceptions?
Let's see. Sauce, maybe.
Okay.
What's the other guy's name on the other side? Reed? Is he in it?
No, he's back.
He's Reed? Okay, Reed. I give those 2. And then Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 3 touchdowns. Lazard, Conklin, and Wilson.
All
then
right.
our 2 running backs will get a touchdown each.
Nice. Jeez, what's the final score going to be?
That's 35, right? 35-10.
35-10. All right.
It's my final score of the smelly Denver Broncos. And Michael says hello to everybody, but guess who he likes?
The Denver Broncos.
No, somebody on that team he loves. Take a guess.
Zach Wilson?
Yes. I got a question for you, Jake. Do you know that video that Justin Pugh made? I saw it today.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think he's going to get a flag because he played tons of music in the car? He plays it. Then would he get like monetized for that?
I don't know. Maybe
what kind of music?
He played like a 70s song, then a recent song in the car. He's driving his car. Then he introduces his wife. She works for Calvin Klein. She is nice. Oh, he got a good taste.
Bobby.
What?
Calm down. Calm the freaky down.
I know. Calm your freaky down. But she is.
Calm your freaky down.
All right.
Who is this lady?
Justin Pugh's wife.
Oh, yeah.
He lost a lot of weight. Do you see that? He went from 3X to 1X, she said.
Yeah.
He wants to get back to playing. He said the Giants are stupid not signing him.
A lot of linemen do that. You ever see Alan Faneca post-retirement?
Yes. Yeah. He's good. And Mangold, he got the Mangold shirt. You see that?
Bobby, I watched the video. I saw it.
And who's the guy? The Giant guy he talked to in the car. He does the Giant show.
Paul Dottino, who's the biggest Giant shill to ever live.
Yeah, Dottino. What's up with Webster? What's up with Webster? I'm hearing this Webster stuff, Bobby. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. On my birthday, they got me a cameo from him. And also...
Webster who?
What?
Webster... Who's Webster?
You never saw Webster from the
show?
We'll pick this up another time. Thank you, Bobby.
Well, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show, I'm Bobby.
Is he talking about the TV show Webster?
Yes. I think. Someone got him a cameo for his birthday, and it featured Webster. This was a while ago, though. And then Bobby started asking about Justin Pugh and Paul Dottino, and this is a Jet show. I can't do the Giant stuff today.
I just saw someone put in the comments asking about Webster. So, of course, making your life more difficult, I asked him about Webster.
Yeah, I wanted to see Bobby give us a twirl in the bathrobe, and he didn't even do that. So, I mean,
A U-collar. Yeah, that's a capital U-collar.
Yeah, come on now. But, Bobby, thank you for the 2 memberships. We are, I think, 7 away from this one. Anyway, let's get back to some real calls here. Let's check in with the great Ricky NY. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Jake? How's it going, Robbie?
What's up, Ricky?
Robbie, did you see one of the things that Joe B posted, his film breakdown on Twitter, and Aaron Rodgers responded and said, "That's hilarious." Did you see that?
No. When was this? Today?
I think it was yesterday. Check it out. So yeah,
I can't believe there was no talk in Slack. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think it was Breece Hall. I don't think it was Rodgers.
Oh, was it? I
yeah. No, I saw the Breece one. Yes.
Okay. I might have been mistaken.
It's all good.
At any rate, man, listen, I'm not worried about this Denver game in the slightest. Maybe for Tampa Bay, that was a trap game for them, not for us. Like you said, all they've really got is Cortland Sutton. And we've seen Sauce versus Cortland Sutton the last couple of years, and we see how that has turned out. I'm going to go with my prediction of 37-13 Jets for this weekend. And you know what? I think Michael Carter's going to get the interception. It'll be a pick 6, and it'll stand this time because JFM is on the other team. And that is my prediction for the game. Have a great day, guys.
Ricky.
You too, Ricky.
Appreciate it. That is true. Here's what I've suggested as well. Just leave JFM and East Rutherford. Give Denver a 4 and call it a day.
They could use JFM right about now.
They definitely could. I mean, he's a good player, and they gave him away for nothing because they thought they had Reddick, and Haason Reddick might have fired his agent according to Aaron Rodgers, and now we have no idea where things are with that.
Yeah. JFM is honestly, Jalen Holmes is JFM's replacement right now. If we really want to break it down, and Holmes has been solid. And, I was against. I wanted to see Taylor just over Holmes those first 2 weeks, and Salah went with Holmes, and he's turned out roses so far.
I'll give you an early prediction. Brees Hall another long touchdown run because it seems like every time he plays Denver, he has a long touchdown run.
Yeah, and all eyes on Brees and ABT, by the way, in this one.
Yeah, thankfully they're playing at home this time and not in Denver. You would almost have to sit both guys out if you were in Denver, especially ABT.
You know what? It's one of those things where, as crazy as it is, no fan would be upset. Let's be honest.
Dixon, yeah.
Oh, we lost Jake.
Button, I'm back. I'm back. How was the show without me?
I booted you? It worked?
Someone booted me. Anyway.
Hey, your mic, by the way, your mic.
Ooh, 1 second.
It's all good. You just got to probably switch up the setting.
Check.
Yep.
One,
You're
two.
good.
All right. We're back. Yeah. Pain in the ass. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed the Robby Sabo show briefly there.
Yeah, boy.
Dixon.
I said a total of 2 words.
Dixon, yes. Jake, where are the Asman bathrobes? Well, we don't have any currently. However, I'm going to the Yankee game tonight with my merch store director, so I will ask her if we can add some Jake Asman bathrobes in the future. Would people actually buy a Jake Asman show bathrobe, though? Come on now. Would they?
It's one of those things where I think you'll get 3 to 5 sold right away, and then that's it. It'll be dormant.
Yeah.
But how about the Yankees going to the game tonight? Could you have imagined the Yankees would have the division locked up at this point going to this game?
No, when I got these tickets, I figured this was going to be a huge series for trying to win the division, not clinch the division tonight. But the Orioles have played terrible. The Yankees had a great West Coast trip. So,
are you worried about the bye?
Am I worried about the bye?
Yeah, because with the new playoff system, the playoff format, the bye teams really struggle.
But you know what? The Astros also have had the bye in 22, and they won the World Series. So it's a year-to-year thing. They
were the only team that year. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass, but it was one of the rare times when they went through. But yeah, we'll see. Buys in baseball, I'm not a huge fan, but hopefully Yanks don't get affected.
Yeah, I would say I'd rather the bye than to have to play in the divisional in the wild card round where you could get picked off on a best of 3.
Yeah, you can't argue that. You can't.
So anyway, if those of you who want Jake Asman show bathrobes inspired by the great Bobby Midnight, we will work on that. All right. Just like we did with the Charles Gorman tank top. So it says inspired by Charles Gorman. We'll do inspired by Bobby Midnight.
That's some disturbing stuff right there.
All right. More calls right now. Let's say hello to the great Peter Castro, but we'll find out if we actually can hear him for this time. Hello, Peter.
Everything's working, Jake. Everything's
wow.
working.
What's up, Peter? You still married?
Yes.
Nice.
Get into this Denver game. The 2 backs in the backfield are imperative. Being that Brees Hall broke a 68-yard run and a 55-yard run against them, that will drive their defense crazy. That's number 1. Number 2, they got to come out with blitzing their heads off and making Bo Nix very uncomfortable. And I would travel with Sauce Gardner with their one good receiver that they have. Those are the 2 things I took. The third thing, I'll tell you what, Buffalo is a good team. We got to worry about Buffalo. And when they play them, somebody's going to have to spy on Allen. Otherwise, they're going to have a field day.
Yeah, Brady in Buffalo, I think he was the turning point for them. Like Joe Brady has that offense humming.
Yep, really. And that defense is not bad for all the players they're missing.
No,
not bad at all.
McDermott's solid.
That's our obstacle.
Hey, Peter, what T-shirt size are you?
XL.
All right, I need to know what size to get you the Allen Lazard jersey. I just wanted to get ahead of that.
Yes, Allen Lazard's having a great season so far.
He is. All because of you. You inspired him.
He's inspired. Jake, you got to watch out for this. This Miami, this Huntley, is better than Tua. And if they get Huntley,
Tyler Huntley,
if they get Huntley humming the way he's sharp, they're going to have problems. Miami's not going to be that bad, but that's a big mistake they made by cutting Mike White. But I wish we would have gotten Huntley last year.
I mean, he would have been better than anything they put out there for sure.
Did they just sign Huntley, or was he with the team since the summer?
No, they just signed him.
Yeah,
Okay.
last week they signed him. Yeah, he might start this week because that's how bad Tim Boyle is. That Huntley, who doesn't know the offense yet, might actually start over Boyle, who's been there.
Yeah, he has. I mean, in a lot of ways, Huntley does fit what McDaniels wants to do. Like, he doesn't have the strongest arm. Can he anticipate enough? I don't know. But the way he throws the ball with touch, it's not the worst idea.
He's not better than Tua, though, Peter.
No,
he's not.
No way.
Listen, Tua is one hit away from the hospital.
For sure. But Tua is a competent quarterback. Tyler Huntley's never done anything in the league.
It's going to be a very different offense. They're going to be zone reads. There's going to be more RPOs. There's going to be a lot more stuff that you see in Baltimore with Huntley running the ball for sure.
Getting back to Denver, the final score will be 31-10.
Okay.
Sign me up for it, Peter. You're going, right?
Yeah, you're not. And I'm bringing my whole family to meet you, and now you're going to some wedding.
Do you think I want to be at a wedding? You think I want to do this? First off, this wedding starts at 4:30. I'm not showing up till at least 6:37 because I'm doing a post-game show on YouTube in a tuxedo, mind you, right after the game ends from Comac, and then schlepping all the way out to the east end of Long Island by you to attend this thing. So there's no one that's more upset that I have to go to a Sunday night wedding in the middle of fall than me. I want to make that very clear.
Jake, I just had to do the same
thing. Why don't you do the post-game show after the game? Go to the game, then go home, go to that stupid wedding that you don't want to go to, and then do the post-game show.
Now, Peter, you live on Long Island. You are aware how difficult it is to get from MetLife Stadium to Comac, Long Island in Suffolk County.
Have Neil get him a copter.
I'll have Neil get you a copter. Fly you in.
I thought you said cocktail.
I'll take that too.
You know what? I'm in Westchester. I'm not in Long Island. So you could even come here if you want. Change here.
Well, Peter, you know I want to be there. You'll have to come to some other games, though. I'll be at all the other home games.
Yeah, but then I'm going to be in Miami for the Miami game.
All right.
Florida.
So me, you, and the Asmaniacs will hang out in Miami. I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there too. I'll be there.
Great seeing you guys. Have a nice weekend, and let's go Jets.
Peter Castro, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Lazard's resurgence all started back in June when a $500 super chat from Peter Castro got things rolling.
Yeah, dude. So my cousin got married last weekend in Maryland, and when I heard about it in the spring, he said September. I said to myself, "Oh, there's no way I'm going. Jets are playing. Like I gotta come. I gotta work. Jets play on Thursday." So I just schlepped myself out to Maryland this past weekend.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. I love it's a good friend of mine from high school, but he might be a communist. I mean, a Sunday fall wedding.
September and October are November. No one does it in November, but so I guess that's off limits too. Yeah, fall weddings are rough.
You can't do it. You can't do it. If you're gonna do a fall wedding, it has to be on a Saturday. Even then, it sucks. I've left. It's funny. I was at a wedding in 2017. Yankees Astros Game 7 was that night of the ALCS, and someone asked me like, "How come you're not in any of the pictures?" I'm like, "Because I wasn't there. I was watching the game on my phone the whole time." And the synagogue and then the reception hall was like outside. I was like, I'm watching the game the whole time. You kidding me? So I wasn't in any of the photos.
Wait, the actual ceremony is on Sunday?
The ceremony Sunday followed by the cocktail hour and all the dancing and all that stuff after.
I thought it was Saturday. I mean, that was worse enough. Yeah, he's definitely a communist.
No, if it was Saturday, I'd be at the game Sunday.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it. But I automatically think Saturday. Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, it's brutal. Let's see. Bijan checks in. How many sacks will Will McDonald have? How is he versus the run? Well, he's on pace for like 70 right now. But no, I mean, he's playing well. I mean, realistically, he's at 5.5 right now. I think it would be surprising if he doesn't get 10 plus at this point.
Yeah, he should have 10 plus. And this is what happens with sacks. Like, fans will hate me for saying this, but he's being greatly overrated right now because of the 5 sacks. But hey, at the same time, he's playing a lot better than he did last year. So it's definitely a positive. He's a tad overrated, and if I'm Salah, I'm playing into that and I'm keeping him motivated. But definitely, I think 12 plus for sure.
I mean, he's looked good, man. He's been better against the run this year than he has been for sure.
He has been
there.
Listen, a lot of the stuff against the run is not. There's not. Sometimes there isn't. He can't do anything because of the size difference, and so it's tough to evaluate sometimes when it's just based purely on size. He's been better in all regards for sure.
Indomitable with a super chat. We should not be worried about the Bills. We have beat them the last couple of years with dudes worse than Uncle Rico throwing the ball for us. I disagree. I get the sentiment, but the Bills are good. They got Josh Allen, who's playing like an MVP right now. He's the MVP favorite through the first 3 weeks on the betting lines. I think the Jets are better than the Bills. There's a reason why I picked the Jets to win the division before the season started, but they got to go prove it, right? The Bills have won this division 4 years in a row. And I think that game on Monday night will be a huge, huge litmus test for this team, right? They've beaten the Bills the last 2 years at MetLife. Now you got Rodgers in that game. Got to go do it again. But I'm not discrediting the Bills. I think that's a really good team that has a good coach, has a tremendous top 3 in the league quarterback. Like, I wouldn't discredit them. They're a good team.
Great culture, great coaching staff. The talent is a revolving door, but that's okay because you have the best player in the division in Josh Allen. So can't discount him. You shoot for 2 wins against them, but you got to win your home game and then try to get the 2 wins on their turf. That's the bottom line.
We'll see just how good the Bills are their next 3 games, right? They play the Ravens on Sunday night next week or later this week, I guess already. And then they play the Texans after that and then the Jets. So there's a chance the Jets and the Bills could both be 4-1, or the Jets are 4-1 and Buffalo is undefeated going into that Monday night game.
Yeah. And Houston's strange this so far this season too. I mean, they were an easy pick to take a step back based on last year, but you still like their team. You still like D'Amico. You still like Stroud. So we'll see. I'm unsure about them so far this year.
I think the Jets are better than the Bills, but they're a good team. I'm not, I don't want to discredit them.
Completely fair take. I think the Jets have more talent top to bottom. No question.
Big fella, enough with the glazing of Josh Allen. The Bills haven't played anyone. I get that. I understand. But we're glazing Aaron Rodgers, and he dominated the Patriots, who aren't a good team. Now they have a good defense. I get it. But still, be fair. Bills have looked good. But it doesn't mean they're a great team just yet. The Jets, I think, are the better team. They got to prove it, though. That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Allen's a really good quarterback. I don't think it's glazing him to say that. Like, he's a really good quarterback in this league. And so far this year, there hasn't been a whole lot of great quarterback play. He's been one of the best.
Yeah, we're not Krispy Kreming it over here. No glazing. They haven't beat anyone, but at the same time, they've dominated outside of week 1. And their coaching staff is solidified. It is, it's arguably, I'm not going to say the best, but it's in that upper echelon, and you can't take that away from them.
Roger writes in, Jake, I heard Haason Reddick is going to be a Jets football player on Halloween.
Is that what the kids are doing? Is that what the kids are going as this year?
I'm going as Bobby Midnight. I'm wearing a Jets robe to the Texans game.
Where does one find a capital U t-shirt to go with Bobby Midnight?
The old U-neck, as they call it. All right, Robbie, you want to do one more call?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Chim is on the line. Hello, Robert.
Hi, guys. Hi, Jake. Hi, Robbie.
Hey, so that's
it's Bobby. Bobby's my hero.
Do you have a U-neck on?
I love Bobby. I got chin nuts.
Is that Tom Brady?
Yeah. No, screw Brady. Jake, can you get Bobby to autograph one of those bathrobes for me?
I can ask him. I don't know if he'll do it for you. He might not like this call.
Why? I love Bobby. I'm dedicated to Bobby.
You're a big Bobby guy?
Yeah, of course. Isn't everybody?
Not South End.
Well, I don't know who that guy is, but I hear Bobby likes to call himself ass.
That's true. He does. You're right about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I missed Bobby. Bobby, I love you. I wish you were still here so we could talk and officially meet. I think I met a fake Bobby the other night, but
did he have a stick on a butt or a butt on a stick? What is it called? No,
I guess not. Well, Robert Chim, is it supposed to say chin or chim?
I'm not very good at typing, Jake. You figured me out real fast.
Fat fingers.
Yeah,
I got you. Don't worry. I'll make the adjustment for it. Well, don't worry. I got someone on the line who wants to say hello to you. Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Oh, that he came to my show the other day. I did not recognize him at all. So
hi, Bobby.
I think I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's either Knob Deep or Scott Forster.
The NBA ref?
No.
I think it's Peter
Scott
Griffin's.
Forster, the guy from California with the beard.
It's Peter Griffin's brother. Come on.
I live in Seattle, Washington, Bobby.
Yeah, that's Scott Forster. Yes, that's Scott Forster.
Yeah, Seattle, Washington.
No.
Where all the salmon are.
I know your voice. That's Scott Forster's voice.
So he's got a Bobby impression down solidly, somewhat. I must admit.
Well, okay. When you come on my show, you can come on my show. Now I know who you are.
Bobby. Wow.
Well, I didn't know who you were, so I didn't want to come in.
Oh,
okay.
Well, Bobby, I think you're the best.
Yeah, you are too.
All right.
Bobby.
Well, this was productive. Thank you, everyone.
Well, you know I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Robbie, your thoughts on Robert Chin?
No edibles before the Jake Asman show ever again.
All right. That was a weird one. Robbie, I appreciate you hopping on as always. Plug X Factor, plug the podcast, all that.
Discount code 80 at Jets X Factor. All the good stuff. JetX Mobile on the App Store and Google Play. And no, there's no Robert Chin. Or is it Chim?
I think he meant the right chin, but he spelled it wrong.
Robert Chin, Tom Brady-esque Chin type stuff at Jets X. But we got the good stuff. Just know that. We got the good stuff.
When's the next podcast with Corbett?
I don't know yet. He's shooting for, I think, tomorrow night because he's busy tonight and yesterday. His son, call out to his son. He's doing some good stuff, college football. So we might be covering some of that stuff at JetX. So stay tuned.
Someone I know had a great experience with Corbett the other night at the game. Someone was wearing a Wayne Corbett jersey, and Corbett tapped this person on the shoulder and said, "Nice jersey."
Who was it?
It was a friend of mine that was at the game.
Nice. And he just saw it.
He just saw someone wearing a Wayne Corbett jersey, tapped him on the shoulder, said hello, and then took a picture with the fan, which was great.
Nice. Wayno getting the job done with the fans, as always.
Right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, Robbie, you have a hell of a night. Let's go Yankees.
All right. Later, Jake.
Robby Sabo won. JetsXFactor.com. Check it out. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue with your calls. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's next. Hey, Kyle.
How you doing? So I think I would have probably bought one of those Jake Asman shop robes. I just bought one myself for my trip to Arizona. They had.
Wow.
I'm actually staying in the same hotel that Gary called from the other day. It overlooks the stadium. It's got a 6 spa, so I bought a robe for that purpose.
That's beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what. If enough people express interest in a Jake Asman show robe, I will get with the merch director and see if we can make that happen.
Very good. So I think that if Rodgers was going to make a serious run for MVP, based on what we've seen so far, Josh Allen would be his main competition. He has been lights out. It's a little scary how much of an improvement we've shown over the last few years. We've seen over the last few years. He's looked really good. My other point had to do with, acquisitions, pending acquisitions. I think that if we can make Davante Adams work, by all means, we might have to settle for 1 or 2 other moves, maybe in some ways lesser moves to kind of firm up the team, an edge, an interior defensive lineman, perhaps even a tight end if we're not happy with what we're seeing out of Brandon Bates. One person I think that is someone you might keep an eye on that hasn't had great quarterback play is from the Denver Broncos, the team we're playing this week. Greg Dulcich is in the last year of his contract, and there is going to be very little dead money for them, and they'll save some money, and it's very little cap hit to us if we want to flip a late round pick. That's what someone we might look at. Do you have any other players or any other positions that you might look to improve the team at besides those previously mentioned?
We'll see what happens with Carolina if they have a fire sale, if they fall out of it. Clowney would be a name I would throw in there. I was looking at their roster, and it just on the whole, it seemed a little bit unappetizing to me. I looked at some of their receivers, like Deontay Johnson. What do you think? Do you think he has anything left in the tank to be like a fourth receiver or third receiver? No, right? Well, he's had a pretty good year so far. I don't know if they would trade for him. I don't know if he's kind of like, I think if they're going to add a receiver, it's going to be like a legit star receiver, not like a possession type. Right. I'm spitballing because maybe if the price is right, anything could happen. But all right, Jake, that's all I had. I just wanted to get out here and spitball about possible moves. I'll talk to you. Kyle, I appreciate it, man. Good call as always. Hit that like button. If you're tuning in, 835 of you are watching, but there's only 360 likes. The math is not mathing. And a reminder that if you haven't joined my Patreon yet, you're missing out, because not only do you gain access to the Discord, but you also will find out about meetups, tailgate info, especially if you're going to London, not just my event that I'm hosting in London, but some of the other events for Jet fans as well. So patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get your name in the intro. And of course, we're talking about adding a bathrobe to the merch store. If we do add it, you'll be able to get that 15% off for being a Patreon member. You get a code to use for a 15% discount on every single item in the merch store, including this fantastic hoodie I'm wearing right now. Is it about to be hoodie season? Today feels like a real fall day when I was outside earlier. Super chat from Mike D's Nuts, who says Darnold's in that MVP combo. Yes, so far he is. I've been asked a lot about Sam. I'm happy for him first and foremost. I think he's playing a little above his skis right now, but I think he could be a competent starter. I think he could play like Geno Smith. Right? Like, I don't think it's crazy. I always thought Sam had a lot of talent. It didn't work for a lot of reasons that unfortunately were outside of his control. But I do see Sam continuing to play well. I just don't know if he's going to play as well as he's played thus far. That would be my take on Darnold. He could be competent. I don't know if he's going to be, the MVP of the league, though, which through 3 weeks, he probably would be the MVP of the league if you just look at the numbers. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Lane train's on the line, but Lane, you got to turn the camera on, and then I can go to you, of course. Let's say hello to Gary, who's next. Hey, Gary.
What's going on, Jake? Hang on 1 second.
Gary,
I'm losing it, Jake. I'm losing my brain. First of all, I had an experience with Wayne Corbett too. Great guy. I was at his restaurant that used to be across the street from Hofstra when the Jets played the Chargers in 2009. He was there. Hell of a nice guy. That could not be any nicer of a guy. Then Kyle Clifton, that hotel. That's a great hotel. Check it out. It's a perfect hotel, perfect location. It's not It's not cheap, but it's not ridiculously expensive either. It's a great hotel. I wanted to address something that really pissed me off that Bobby said when he said Josh Allen is the best player in the division. Statistically, that's probably true. Game on the line. 1 game to win. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, who you taking?
If I'm getting what I saw on Thursday, I'm taking Rodgers.
So he's the best player in the division. I know statistically Allen may have a better season. I get it, but Rodgers is
Allen's younger. He's played like an MVP more recently than Rodgers has. Like look, I'll take my guy. Like I love Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to be objective here. Josh Allen has been one of the 3 best quarterbacks in football now for an extended period of time. Aaron Rodgers has a chance to be right there in the conversation.
Really good for a long time,
but he didn't play last year, and 2022 for his standards was still a down year for him. So if he plays like he did on Thursday, if that's what we're now going to get going forward, yeah, I'll take Rodgers, man. I would, but we'll see. I think the Jets have the better team because they have the better overall roster. That's the difference.
Josh Allen had a great season. Well, no, he didn't have a great. Last year, he kind of, down for his standards, right? Josh Allen didn't have a typical 35 touchdown 7. He had a down year for his standards, didn't he? You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone makes a big deal about Rodgers' 2022. It wasn't all that bad. Just like Allen's 2023 wasn't all that bad. It's like people kind of relax, right? Like, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to – the Jets' offense I don't think is going to really make Rodgers an MVP candidate because I think it's going to be a run-heavy offense. And like you said, MVP said Darnold because of his stats. MVP is a stat-driven award. So I don't really think Rodgers is going to have an MVP-type season. But at the end of the day, if I say give me 5 quarterbacks you would take over Aaron Rodgers, you probably can't do it. You might only be able to give me 2 or 1, really. Like, that's still the level that Rodgers is playing on. And until he shows otherwise, I'm going to keep him at that level, right? I mean,
I'm fine with that. Believe me, I'm saying you're discrediting Josh Allen as a player if you're not acknowledging him as one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league right now. That's all I'm saying. Rodgers could be right there.
He's in the conversation. He's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
He's better than Burrow. I'm a huge Burrow fan. He's better than. And I'm one who said he's never been better than Burrow. Right now, he's playing better than Burrow.
If you're ranking quarterbacks, Allen and Mahomes are 1 and 2 in whatever order you want, and then after that, there's a debate on who you're putting in the top 5. I think Aaron could get there because we saw something on Thursday that he hadn't been able to do since 2021. You know, he's fully healthy now. He wasn't healthy in 2022. That's the difference.
He's still Aaron Rodgers. At the end of the day, he's still Aaron Rodgers. That's really like to me. If I understand Brady's great, but if you just lined them up and we're choosing sides, and you give me every quarterback who's ever played in their absolute peak, I'm taking Rodgers. I guess now maybe you got to make the argument from Mahomes. You just give me the best version of every player and say choose sides. Who you taking first? It's Aaron Rodgers. Like, no one was ever sharper or better or more complete than Aaron Rodgers. Like, he was, again, his legs aren't what they were in 2011, but they're still good enough. Like, they're still fine. He showed that yesterday on Thursday. And then Sam Darnold. I was a fan of Sam Darnold. I was a fan of the pick, but he did this in Carolina too. 3 weeks into his stint with Carolina, he looked like the goods. And then by the middle of the season, he was benched again. I think there's definitely upside in Darnold, but I don't think that he can put this together. I think mid-season, by November, December, we're going to be looking like, yeah, he can't do it.
Look, here's the difference, though. He's got much better coaching, much better players around him in Minnesota than he's had. He sat for a full year behind Shanahan and Brock Purdy. Like, Sam is still younger than Joe Burrow. Like, there is a path for him to have, like, a Geno-like career where I don't know if he's ever going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league like he's played so far, but I think he could be the 15th best quarterback in the league. I don't think that's crazy. Like, he's played well. Like, I give him a lot of credit. I'm happy for him. I just hope he plays terrible when the Jets see him in 2 games.
I said this when in the 2020 season, 2021 draft class. I said that I think Darnold is better than Trevor Lawrence. Everybody laughed at me. Is that a laughable comment?
That Darnold's better than Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's not. Lawrence is very average, if that. Right now, he's been bad.
I was talking to Dano in the Discord about this. Like, I get why you have to sign Lawrence, but when you sign Lawrence to that kind of contract, 22% of the salary cap, you're never going to compete for a Super Bowl, right? I get, like, what if you let him go, then you do what the Jets did, you don't have a quarterback, right? Like, it's a horrible situation to be in. But you're really damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Like, if you sign him, Lawrence, to that kind of contract, can you really ever compete for a Super Bowl? Like, really, not be 9-8 and maybe make the playoffs. Can you really be one of the best teams in the league if you're overpaying that much for a mid kind of quarterback?
No, they were banking on, hey, he's got more to his game, right? There's more upside to him. Like, we're paying him now because we have to, and then the contract will age well because he's only going to get better. Hasn't happened yet. They're 0-3. Their season feels like it's on the precipice of being an unmitigated disaster where they end up having to fire their coach if it gets that bad.
Oh, and the last thing, like, I think the Jets are better than Buffalo, but this thing where they beat nobody, they beat 3 NFL teams. That's not an easy thing to do. And the combined score of their last 2 weeks is like 80-20, right? They won like 41-10 and 30-10. It's a good team. Like, no, I think the Jets are better. They're good.
No, for sure. They went on the road in a short week last week on Thursday night and blew out the Dolphins. Forget the Tua injury. It's 31-10 when it happened. Like, that's not nothing to go on the road and dominate a team that's supposed to be on your level, right? Like, that's not nothing. And then obviously what they did last night, yeah, the Jaguars might end up being one of the worst teams in the league this year. Who knows? But, like, you still got to do it. This earlier in the year, no one knows. So Buffalo's a good team. I think the Jets could beat them. They've proven that last year. Now they got to prove it again this year and handle their business going forward.
Agreed, Jake. So I don't want to just, look over Buffalo and say they beat 3 bad teams. It's like, okay, they won on the road. They won a division game by 20, 30 points, whatever it was. They won by 30 again last night. They're good. Like, you're not going to overlook Buffalo. That's a real competition. The Jets and Buffalo, that's the team. That's the team we have to beat. Like, that's our chief competitor.
Are you nervous about the Mets tonight?
I wanted to ask you. You think they're going to make the playoffs, Jake?
Yes.
I think they're gonna get swept. Honestly, like I when it comes to like Met fans, I'm more like Allen. Like I just think they're gonna blow this, man. Like I'm not trying to be negative, but the Mets do this all the time. Like they look great. Since June 1st, they have the best record in baseball. They're like 10 games or 11 games better than the Yankees in that time. I know they're gonna blow this. Like they're gonna get swept by Atlanta. I know it's gonna happen, and then they're gonna, beat Milwaukee the first 2, and all they have to do is win the last game, and then they're gonna lose.
No,
I already know how this movie script ends.
It ends with them clinching a playoff spot this week.
That's why when I was on the 411, I said the Mets are the girl that doesn't treat you right. Like you keep going back to her, and she keeps treating you all wrong. Like it's an abusive relationship as a Mets fan. It's not great.
Is being a Jet fan that much different?
Yeah, I don't have any expectations for the Jets. So like the Jets, Rodgers gets hurt 4 plays in. It's like, okay, I know what I got here. With the Mets, like they give you all this hope. Like usually in April, they're the best team in baseball. This year it was different. And then, like, they collapse every year. Are you old enough to remember, like, 2006 and 2007 when they had these big leads over Philly and they just lost every single night down the stretch?
What do you think of Connor Long? Yes, I remember it very well.
That's 15. Yeah, okay. So you'd be okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You'd be high school age, I guess.
I know all about the 07 collapse. My best friend is a diehard Met fan. I lived that through him. It was hilarious.
It was the worst thing. It was in 2007. It was the same thing. It was they'd have a 4-run lead, then they would blow it the last 2 innings. It was every single night. It was the same thing. It was the same movie script. And then 2008 was just a comedy of errors that caused them to blow it.
They're making the playoffs, Gary. Believe. All right.
I'm trying to. I'm a very pessimistic Met fan. I'm being honest.
Real quick, you know what I had for dinner last night?
I'm gonna guess you had chicken and pasta.
A little chicken parm and a little spicy rigatoni, baby.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
The Mets will make the playoffs. I know the Met fan is pessimistic. I think they find a way. I do. If they win the series, they clinch, by the way. All they need to do is take 2 out of 3. Dre says, time for Gary to say bye. Yeah, Gary, you're coming in with your negative vibes. The Met fan doesn't want to hear that. It's a good time to be a Met Jet fan right now. One of the few good times. Come on now. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We'll get into your calls here. Continue with your calls. Shout out to Green Bean who's in the house. He says, should we invite Reddick's agent to Pioneers on Saturday? For those who missed the announcement earlier, Talking Jets is doing a meetup, and I'll be there on Saturday. Pioneers in NYC, right in Chelsea, right in Manhattan. We'll be there at 3. It's going to be a blast. All Jet fans are invited. So I can't go to the game Sunday with Talking Jets, but at least I can go to the meetup on Saturday. So check out O'Leary, Green Bean, or Ryan's socials for all that. I shared it on my Twitter earlier too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into more of your calls right now. We say hello to someone who always brings the intensity, and he loves our great country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's up?
B-Man?
How you doing, Jake?
I'm good, B-Man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, no. I would say great show so far. Gary being Gary, that was just great. That's honestly, I haven't paid attention a lot to baseball because I'm just waiting for the inevitable Yankees playoff meltdown because I've kind of become numb to it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I've been that way. Just the Denver game, I talked about this already. It's the way I feel about it is that the Denver had like Denver already caught Tampa off guard last week. So I mean, so now like I said, you're more alert to that this week.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah, no.
How stoned are you right now?
I'm not stoned at all.
Really?
No.
You're very slow today, V man. You're not as energetic as normal.
No, am I not? You're just in a car. I don't know, but
you look like you're asleep.
No, I'm fine.
It's good to know.
No, I'm fine, Jake. Oh, yeah, no, that's important. You're asking. So, I was thinking about going to another one of your events at T Squared Social. Not sure yet, so I was going to let you decide. So, one of these matches is burnt. If you get me to pick out the burnt match, I'm going to another one of your T Squared Social events. All right, so let me just rotate them around.
What am I doing? You have a burnt match there?
Yeah. Just pick the burnt match, and I'll go to another T Squared Social event.
And what if I don't pick it? You're not going?
No.
Hey, did you think this one through before you called in with this idea?
No, I did not. I'm just fucking with you. I'm thinking about going. I didn't fuck with you. I think I'm probably gonna go to the Patriots one, where Joe's gonna pop up.
All right, I'll play your reindeer games. Give me the one on the left.
All right. You want the one on my left or your left?
My left.
All
You're
right.
right.
Let's see. Hold on.
There it is. We'll see you at T Square on 10/27. Joe B is going to be thrilled to meet you. I'll tell you that much.
You know, that's gonna be great. Should I bring my book for? Should I bring my book for the autograph?
You have a book for him to sign?
I have his book, Rules for New York Sports Fans.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bring it. That'll be great.
Yeah, I'll bring that one. You can honor. It'll be great.
Right.
That'll be fun.
V-Man, thank you for the time. Thank you to V Mom. Her laugh in the background was the best part of this call.
There you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, V-Man, everybody, and the great V-Mom.
V-Man is here. How we feeling?
High as a kite.
All right. This has been a weird. We've had some weird ones today. The chin guy, Bobby with the robe asking about Paul Dottino. I can't. Big Phil wants to know, did the White Sox beat the Mets season loss record? They're going to. I don't know if they've officially done it just yet. They're going to, though. They had to finish like 6-0 to not break the 62 Mets loss record. Mike D's nuts in the house. He says, not trying to be negative. RK, but. What does that mean? Am I missing this? Tom says, have Joe B sign a Kyle Wilson jersey. Oh, my God. That'd be great. Bro, are you kidding me? Oh, man. A lot of fun on Friday with Joe in person at the Hackensack Brewing Company. So Joe said on our show Friday morning that he wasn't going to get the Rodgers jersey until the Jets won the Super Bowl. And then he said, you know what? I'm rethinking this after watching him play. One game of Rodgers playing like an MVP, Joe was hooked. So I said, all right, I'll keep that in mind. And I showed up to the podcast taping on Friday with the Rodgers jersey for Joe, who told me he will wear it for the first time on this show you're watching right now, the day after the Jets clinch a playoff spot. So we got Joe's Rodgers jersey ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, Dre checks in with a super chat. My computer is moving so goddamn slow, I can't even pull it up. The White Sox are 36-120. They need to lose one more game. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, they're going to lose at least one more game. So the 62 Mets are off the hook. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Keep going with your calls here. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Let's say hello to, speaking of stoned, Mr. Weed. Hello, Weed.
What's up, Jake?
Weed, I want to say your latest backdrop is absolutely incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, Will McDonald's farm. Which quarterback will be added next?
That's right.
Hopefully Bo Nix.
I even got a, since you were talking about Bobby coming on with his robe, I actually do have something good for you.
Oh my God. That is amazing. That is great. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Hefner. Oh,
Bobby Hefner rocking it out.
with his two Playboy buddies. Is that Sarah and Carly?
Yes, it is.
I love it. Hey, it looks very realistic.
It's one of my finest works.
Well done, Weed. This
Thank you.
has been one of your better performances already.
I know, right, man? So I won't be going. I'm not going to the next home game, but I will be going to T Square for Halloween. Or I will be going to the Halloween game, and I will be at your next two T Squared.
So you'll be at Steelers Sunday night and Patriots Sunday afternoon.
Yes,
I love it.
I think.
Now we'll
see.
I based on the chat, I think this is your most popular backdrop you've ever done.
I think it might be. When I was putting it together, I was like, "This is just magical." I was laughing the whole time.
Weed, excellent job out of you. Thank you for your greatness as always.
Hell yeah, go Jets,
ladies and gentlemen. Weed the people doing his thing. Bobby bathrobe emoji. How come we need literally 8 memberships? We only had 3 this time, and I've been on for an hour and a half. And the robe will be added. Magic in the air for all. Crazy. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Jersey Joe, who's on the line. Hey, Jersey Joe.
What's going on, Jake?
What's up, man?
Hanging in there, man. So, first of all, I need to say something. It's any of these people, bro. Jersey traffic. It took me 2 hours to get to the stadium the other night, and I wanted to make it to the Jersey burn. Oh my God, I was fuming. I had my buddies in my car, and they're like, "What's going on, man? We're still gonna make it to the game." I'm like, dude, I want to meet Jake. I want to burn a jersey and maybe shotgun. None of that happened. I did get a picture with you, but so is that going to be the spot for you, L5?
L5 is always my spot. That is correct.
Okay, good. Well, I'll try. During a home game, I know you're not going to the Broncos, but the Sunday games, I'll be there bright and early for you. We could.
There's not many of them left, man. We got a long wait. It's crazy. The next Sunday 1:00 game is not till December 1st.
Oh my God, really? Isn't there a Sunday night at the Colts or something? Is that home or is that in Indy?
Well, so it's a home game, but I thought you meant like Sunday 1:00 games. Yeah, they play Sunday again, but Sunday night football.
Sunday game because everybody works on. I work Thursday and Monday, so it's going to be pushing my luck for those games. But whatever. I just want to be a part of the vibe. I walked over, Neil was on the mic, and you were looking 30 ways, 4 eyes. You're like, oh, it looked like a great time. But glad to meet you. But I called just because it looked like so electric. It was cool to see everybody having fun. I wanted to get there earlier, but Jersey traffic, man, it's got to stop. Getting to MetLife is a nightmare.
I know. It's the worst, man. It's the worst stadium. I mean, it sucks. We have the best fans, but the worst stadium.
Absolutely. One last thing before I hop off here. I came home last Friday before the Thursday night game, so it was before the Titans game. My aunt was over at my house. I get inside, and she's like, "Hey, she works at a church, and she also works at a thrift store. So she's rotating through on a bunch of different things. She got me a Victor Cruz jersey for free at Giants. I'm not a Giants fan, but I like Victor Cruz. And so she's like, "Hey, do you want this signed football? It's a Jets football." I go, "Well, hell yeah." I go, "Who is it?" She goes, "I'm not sure. Take a look." I take a look, and it's our best buddy, Zach Wilson. I go, "Oh, come on."
Oh my
God.
God.
I'll keep it, but it was pretty cool. So I got a Zach Wilson off. It's not authentic. She doesn't have the authentication, but she said it was from him. So I got a Zach Wilson side football. You can't make it up, man. But
if you want to burn that jersey, you can bring it to L5 on Sunday.
It was a signed football. I did have a Zach Wilson.
Burn the football. I mean, excuse me. Well, they'll probably burn that.
I can't burn the football. If she asks, I burned it. That wouldn't be a good look. I don't know. We'll see.
It says you're a retired ZW truther.
Yeah. Listen.
How big of a truther were you?
I held on to. I wasn't like, who's it? Was it Hulk? Who's that? Whoever. Yeah, I wasn't that bad. There was some times like up until the Jacksonville Jaguars game, that Thursday night football, I was like, damn, like he could be the one, And then even last season when he played the Chiefs, I'm like, he got me. He saw Taylor Swift and he's like, man, I'm gonna play like prime Joe Namath, and he got me right back on the saddle, being a truther. And I'm like, damn, like I just wanted him to succeed, man. Like every Jets quarterback, I'm glad Darnold's succeeding. Geno, I mean, but if he pops off for the Broncos, I hope they go 16-1, and that'd be against the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Jersey Joe, you don't have to worry about that because he's the number 3 guy. But I mean, here's the thing, right? You always root for the quarterback. It's just you got to call a spade a spade. Like honestly, Darnold is so much better than Zach Wilson, and Darnold had his issues too. Believe me, he wasn't great, but at least Darnold had nothing. Like you could point to the coaching and had nothing. Zach had plenty of talent around him. Wasn't perfect, but if everything's got to be perfect, you to have any modicum of success, you're not a franchise quarterback. That's the bottom line. Like they asked Joe Tippmann yesterday, hey, you guys are leading the NFL in third down percentage. Last year you were dead last. What's the difference? Tippmann laughed and said Aaron Rodgers. Like it's a quarterback league, man. Either you have it or you don't. That's it. You either have it or you don't. And I'll tell you what, the Asmaniacs, we have ourselves a tailgate at L5.
Let's fucking go! Let's go!
The best, baby. The best. L5 Jersey burn.
This fan base in the NFL. These guys are out of their mind.
Find me the tailgate that has a former NFL player hanging out. Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Neil in Garden City. Hello, Neil.
Hi, Jersey Joe. I just want to let you know that I appreciate all the Zach Truthers for really rooting me on. And I think one day I'll be able to play quarterback for a night. And I hope you don't burn my jersey at L5 on Sunday, because somebody's going to bring a jersey and burn it because I suck.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Now let's check in with Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Aaron.
Let's go. I'm just getting warmed up here, folks. I'm feeling my oats, and I am going to be, I don't know, maybe I'll throw 4 touchdowns this week. We'll see how I feel. I'm getting a little better every day. And look at the gangrene fans, baby. That's our home field edge right there, everybody. That's us. That's us smiling and watching touchdowns and everything else that we never saw before in our lives. This is for real. This is a real team. God almighty. It is so wonderful. Every day I wake up and I say, what do we have on the docket today? We have Jake. We have Aaron Rodgers talking about his week on McAfee and how, let me tell you something. Life is great. Life is great, Jake, right?
I mean, life's pretty sweet right now, Neil. 2-1 for the first time since 2015. He's got it better than the Jet fan right now.
Oh, my God. When was the last time we were 2-1? 2015?
The Fitz year, yeah.
Oh God Almighty! You know that's 9 years ago, Jake. Where were you 9 years ago? Were you in college or something? What were you doing?
I was in
9 years?
college. Yeah, I was in college the last good Jet season.
I was still, I was humming on walls. Well, I was still doing what I'm doing today with the Jet, doing the Jet thing. But
Did
I
you
have
hear
to
Peter's call, by the way? He said you should get me a jet so I could go to the Jet game on Sunday, then do my post-game show on the private jet, and then take the jet to the east end of Long Island where this wedding I have is.
Well, I am taking, well, I could tell you this. I'm coming from out east to go to the game. I'll gladly take Peter back and you back, and we'll make the wedding because the way I drive, you could ask Rob, it's faster than a jet. By the time
Not with that traffic on a Sunday afternoon from
you
East
have no
Rutherford.
idea. You have no idea what I do. You got to go like this. You got to hold your head because when I go on the shoulder and then I go on the grass, and all of a sudden you go like this. You're like that in the back of the car. You can't believe what I do. I make it home from MetLife and I watch a majority of the game. What we do is a lot of times I'll park with a Basta tunnel on the side of 120, which is, and then I jet down and I go on 46. Then I get on the side of the service road. I make an escape that is like Houdini. I make it home in 55 minutes from the parking lot to Garden City. Okay. And that's nobody gets home the way I get home. So I make it like a personal part of my game. And then I listen to it. But, I haven't had many times that I want to get home quickly because we suck so many years. But now it's nice and relaxing. I want to hear the post game. I want to hear all the great fans, and we wave at each other on the way out. And it's a very, very happy thing that we have to deal with all the way through, Jake. It really is a major difference when we have a chance, not a chance, but a very, very good chance to come home winners on a weekly basis. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for a very, very long time. As you can see, 58 years of pain on that little intro. So it's, wonderful thing. I have really no takes. I could just say that, I'm expecting some, I want us to get a big jump on Denver so we can make Mr. What's his name now? Bo Nixie. Bo Nix is going to be running around. And I want McDonald. We were talking about who we should shadow. We talked about Sherwood. We talked about Quincy shadowing him. I really like Will McDonald to shadow because he's like an he has that big wingspan. When I saw him in the shadowing Will Levis, you can't get away from him. He's got such a big wingspan. If you cut to the left or cut to the right, he just puts his body on you like that and wraps you. You know what I'm saying? Certain players, they could be elusive. He just has to stand there and just move his body one way or the other 6 inches, and he wraps you, and you're going down. I don't want any ifs, ands, or buts. I want him to feel the hit when he takes it. Now, what about CJ? Is he going to be playing on this Sunday, you think?
I mean, we'll get the first injury report tomorrow. I think he probably will play.
I really think that we have to really, just like we move everybody in and out, I think that CJ has to come to grips with the fact that as a coverage linebacker, he is not in the same league as Sherwood. And, when Quincy plays middle linebacker, man, he looks like he's so fast to the hole and he hits guys in the backfield. I know with CJ, I've noticed, he sits back 5-6 yards. He has to fight off blocks in the second. When in the San Francisco game, he just looked so overmatched because he was not up at the line of scrimmage and he's not hitting the hole like he used to. And Quincy just hits the hole, man. He just looks for that opening and he just, boom, he's in the backfield making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Where with CJ, I feel he's getting, he's a sure tackler. When CJ grabs you, you're going down. But I just feel like he's lost
not just one step. I feel like he's lost maybe 2 steps. It's just bothering me. But I want him in on the first and second down.
Yeah, and that's when he'll play. I mean, they should be using Sherwood more anyway. I've said it all summer. He was one of the most impressive players I saw at camp.
Right, but I don't think CJ is going to want to come out of the game, though.
He will. I mean, they'll want to keep him healthy and keep him fresh. He will. He doesn't need to play every down.
Right. If we could keep him mixed in there and keep him in on obvious rushing downs, because he adds another heavy. But I don't want to see him 5 yards back. If it's a running play and you think it's a running play, I don't want him in no man's land out there 5, 7, 8 yards back, because if they don't rush, he's got to get the crosser, and he's too slow to get a tight end on the crosser. And I want him up on the line of scrimmage and let him fake blitz. If it's not a run, he could stop the run at the line of scrimmage. And if it's not a run, at least he could blitz and get in there and try to cause havoc.
We're too quick to write off CJ Mosley. He's still a smart.
I'm not writing him off.
I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, I like Jamie and Sherwood as much as anyone. I was higher on Jamie and Sherwood before it was like a thing. Back in June, I was talking up Jamie and Sherwood. But, like Mosley's going to have a role on this team. And first off, when you're playing against other really good teams with other really good quarterbacks, you're going to need CJ Mosley's brain to be able to get the defense in the right plays, right situations, to be able to make plays. Like, how do we know some of the greatness of this defense hasn't been because CJ's getting them lined up properly so they know what's coming? Like, that's huge.
But I think a weakness with CJ is when you have a running quarterback, like Bo Nix is going to take off. And CJ is not the kind of guy that's going to run him down. And that kind of stuff worries me a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I say
that's
with
why
Sherwood, he's going to wrap.
Exactly.
He's going to wrap. He's going to get to the guy much faster than what Mosley's going to do. And also in coverage, CJ lacks a little bit in coverage, but he has the brain. He's going to set the defense up in the right way. I understand from what I've been told that Sherwood really is learned to quarterback the defense much better because years ago he was a horror. I mean, when CJ came out of the game, our defense looked like crap. But now that he knows the defense and he's really comfortable, I like it where it is. And I
they
like
can play all three together too. There's no, like, Sherwood's a converted safety. He's got the speed of what a nickel would be anyway. So
that's a really good point. I like that formation as well. Have all three of them in, and that's another thing. You could really Sherwood and Quincy. You could creep Sherwood out on the edge and make him like an edge rusher in certain downs when you put all three of them out there, right, Jake? 100%. I think that would be look, I loved the way they mixed the defense around last game. They got to keep doing that. They can't become too predictable with the 4-down guys and any drop back because, it's too much relying on keeping everything in front of you. You can't worry about Bo Nix beating you deep. If he beats you deep one time and they get a touchdown, it's not the end of the world. Aaron Rodgers comes back out and he answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about getting beat deep anymore because we have the ability to come back. When our past years, we had to worry about it. We couldn't get behind 7-3 even.
Neil, they could be aggressive like they were last Thursday, and the whole key is going to be because Nix can move better than Brissett. They got to have McDonald spy again or Sherwood or Quincy spy again. Then, they got to basically just be prepared for the fact Nix could take off. Nix also could give you a brutal turnover. Like Brissett wasn't going to turn it over. He was going to take care of the ball. Nix will give you a pick or two. There'll be opportunities for the Jets to force some turnovers.
Look, again, I told you guys early in the season, I'm looking to make a lot of early escapes out of MetLife this year for the right reason. I told you that. You could have left this game, the Patriot game, you clearly could have left in the second, with 8 minutes left and just been laughing all the way out the door. I just wanted to see more of it because it's like, you just can't stop watching. It's so entertaining just to watch Rodgers go on the field, and he just mesmerizes you with his ability. And we've been starving so long for offense that you can't stop watching it, right? I mean, it's just like we're giddy. It's giddy.
There are two things I can't stop watching, right? Rodgers highlights from Thursday and this. amazing. The best. Bushwhacker Neil. All right. We're running out of time here. I got to go soon. So please, let's try and rapid fire because Neil made 78 points there. So I apologize to Indomitable, who's up next. What's up, Indomitable?
Jake, what's up, man? Real quick, 2 points. I sent a super chat. I don't underestimate the Bills, but taking into consideration that we beat them the previous 2 seasons with Zach Wilson MILF dreaming in the backfield and with a weaker roster, I think that we should not be too worried about them because I think our roster, the depth, the strength of it. I mean, come on, like a couple of years ago, we had Bless Austin and Arthur Mallett as our 1 and 2 cornerbacks. So with the strength of our roster and having A-Rod under center, I mean, we can go to Buffalo with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall and the whole squad, and we can beat them. That was the point that I was trying to get across. And second, before I go, CJ Mosley. A lot of people on Twitter, I'm seeing it. Oh, Star Sherwood, sit Mosley. Man, sitting Mosley is the equivalent of saying, let's trade Aaron Rodgers for Justin Herbert. The football IQ that CJ Mosley provides on the field is more than evident. And although he's not the same as the 2016, 2017 with the Ravens, he still can provide a lot to us on the IQ level and moving the defense around and the experience. So thank you, Jake, and have a great day. And look, go Yankees, bro. Go Yankees.
I love it. Win tonight, win the division. How about it? CJ Mosley is still a very important part of this team. All right. When you face some really good teams with really good quarterbacks, you're going to need them. But Jamie and Sherwood should continue to play. He's good. He was one of their most impressive players all summer. And it tells you how the Jets felt about Sherwood. First preseason game, he didn't play. That tells you something. They only played backups all preseason. Jamie and Sherwood did enough where he's basically a quasi-starter. He is a starter in the base defense, but you use a nickel so often now in today's NFL that, he doesn't play as many snaps as Quincy or CJ would. But that should start to change. They should use Sherwood on obvious third down passing situations. Let's say hello to Connor Long. Hello, Connor.
Jake, how you doing?
How was school today, Connor?
It was good. It was good. Looking forward to now, week 4. Unfortunately, Zach Wilson is most likely not starting. Bo Nix, but still, kind of the style that he plays with. You mentioned a bit mobile and then also prone to turnovers. Kind of reminds me what we saw out of Will Levis in week 2. He's going to make these stupid errors. However, he is able to get out of the pocket, evade pressure. Kind of reminds me of Levis's style of play. Anyways, my point.
Connor, take a deep breath. Slow.
Oof,
Slow, my young Padawan. All right, you don't need to make all 70 of your points in record time. We'll give you we'll give you time. All right, take a breath.
I know you got to run, so I wanted to get it in there.
For you, Connor, I have as much time as we need here. All right.
I appreciate it. So my question was, these next stretch of games after the Broncos game, I think this win is crucial. Easier matchup on the schedule before the Jets schedule really, really gets tough. You look, they have 3-0 teams after the Broncos games. In the Vikings, Sam Darnold, who's looked great. The Steelers they have, and then there's one more. Is it the Texans, correct? Or no, yes. Or the Bills. It's Vikings, Steelers, Bills. Vikings, Steelers, Bills, or who they have next.
The Jets play 3 undefeated teams in 3 of their next 4 games. Obviously, Denver's not one of those teams, so then it's the Vikings, it's the Bills, and the Steelers in that order.
What do you see the Jets' record over that span? The Vikings game in London, kind of neutral. So, what do you see? What do you think the record looks like over those 3 games?
I mean, it could be 3-0. Honestly, we'll see. I mean, they should beat the Bills at home. At least that's got to be the goal. I mean, 2-1, 3-0. I mean, that's what I hope it is.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The Vikings game is interesting because it's neutral, and obviously, Sam Darnold, that's going to be interesting to watch. The Bills, I definitely think are, they've gotten to this 3-0 start. However, I do think they're beatable. I mean, you look at their opponents, Jaguars, Dolphins. Tua was in for a little. He didn't look great. The Dolphins Tua didn't look great before the injury. And then week 1, obviously, against the Cardinals, the game they almost blew. So, I think all 3 of those games are winnable. But Jake, I appreciate you taking my call.
Who do you talk to about the Jets at school? Are any of your friends crazy Jet fans like you?
No, not really. I kind of, in terms of football talk, I don't really talk much football at school. I'm obviously the biggest football fan in my school.
Are your friends just they're simpletons? They don't see the game like you do, so you can't talk to them.
Yeah, there's a few kids who know a little. I don't know if there are any really Jet fans in my grade actually. A lot of
You're from Long Island, and there's not a lot of Jet fans in your grade. How's that? Well, here's the problem with the Jets sucking for as long as they have sucked. Connor Long's first season as a Jet fan was 2017 with Josh McCown. When I was growing up, I had Pennington as my quarterback, going to the playoffs every year with Herm. And I then had the Rex years, obviously. I'm in high school with Sanchez and Rex and all that. Like, they have been bad for so long. Connor Long doesn't have Jet fan friends in what? You're in 7th grade?
8th grade now.
8th grade? That's insane.
I know it's crazy. There are a lot of there's some Dolphins fans, some Ravens fans, a lot of bandwagons.
How many Chiefs fans? Is Mahomes the popular jersey people are wearing?
No, I think that died down a few years ago. I don't see many Chiefs fans around in my grades.
Unreal.
Yep.
Well, hopefully the Jets winning will change that. I don't know. Although I don't although if any of your friends start claiming the Jets as their team, call them a fraud for us.
Oh, of course, but no one's ever been a bandwagon fan for the Jets. Maybe it'll happen this year.
Connor, I heard you were a big hit at the Boy Green tailgate on Thursday. Great job.
It was. I appreciate it, and hopefully, unfortunately I couldn't swing by yours, but I will hopefully see you in London at the London game.
Oh, you're going to the game?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I think the event I'm doing is 18 plus, but
yes. Maybe meet up at the game.
Well, you know what? Maybe there's a way we can get you in somehow. We'll figure it out.
All right, Jake, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long, one of our smartest callers. I love it. Big fella says, hearing Rob scream, yeah, during the jersey burn has me laughing so great. You could hear Rob. You're 100% right about that. It's a great observation by you, big fella. I noticed it too. You could hear Big Rob in the background screaming during it. I'll play the tape again.
Let's fucking go! Let's go!
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Yeah, buddy. All right. PBM, you're next. What's up, PBM?
I just ordered it yesterday and it's here. Salute to service. Look at
Damn, that is crazy. It came in a day?
Came in a day. Less than a day, actually. It really came in like 12 hours, which is
Who do you
insane.
know at Fanatics? My God.
Nobody. I'm waiting on my Sauce jersey and the sweatshirt. Let's go.
You look tremendous, PBM. You really do.
I feel better with this on. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. I
Also,
love it.
did you hear, I was going to say 98.7, but it's now 880. Did you hear 880 AM ESPN New York used part of your call in one of the DNR promos on the station?
What? No, I didn't hear that.
You're, I'm pretty sure it was you. I recognized your voice. The JETS Jets chant you did at the end of your call on Friday morning. They turned that into a promo. I heard it every commercial break when I was hosting on Sunday. I was like, there's PBM again in that promo.
Let's go. Hell yeah. I got to check that. That's awesome.
Oscar says the check for that purple belt mic from the Taco Bell commercial finally cashed. Is that where you got all this money to buy Salute the Service swag?
Man, if I look like Pete Davidson, then you shoot me now. It's the ugliest guy in the world.
I mean, he does pretty well for himself, though.
I mean, that's for a different reason. You
He's
know what
funny?
I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
PBM, you're the man. Good call. Ladies and gentlemen, purple belt mic. All right, one last call. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator McCluskey's next. Hello, Gator.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just got some new toys, and I know you're in a hurry, so I'll be quick. I wanted to do a little unboxing. So, first of all, Funko Pop, I'm a huge fan. I collect these things, and it's hard to see. There's a little Jets logo under there, but this is supposed to be me. So you can make these things online, and you can like dress them up and stuff, and get. So anyway, I don't know if it doesn't look a whole lot like me, but whatever. I did it. So I got this. Just came in the mail. It's a new Aaron Rodgers action figure. Thought I'd do a quick unboxing for you folks so you can see it. Box is kind of whatever. Comes with a nice little Jets helmet. That's kind of cool. Actually, that's really sweet. Look at that. The thing I'm not crazy about is, I don't know, the long hair. What do you think of the long hair?
Yeah, he doesn't have long hair with the Jets, so it shouldn't be on the action figure.
Yeah, but they did get the jersey right, so that's cool because the Funko Pop, which I also have here, they did the old jersey, see, which that's kind of lame because they even announced it like after they got the jerseys, but it's pretty cool. I'm definitely digging this. Look at the feet. Anyway, I'm a child when it comes to these things. And of course, the helmet doesn't fit on there, but
Does it fit on your head?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thought I'd show you that for what it's worth. You going to the game?
I am.
Sweet. I hope you get to see them clinch. That will be freaking awesome.
Let's win a division, baby. Clark Schmidt will lead us.
Go get him, Jake. Go get him. GTS, Jets. Wrap it up, Yankees.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gator McCluskey. I wasn't sure if he was going to break out in a clip or something there, or something was coming. I was like, what's coming here? But nope, just a standard Gator call, which is rare. Appreciate it, Garrett. They got Rodgers' hair wrong on that thing, though. It looks cool, but that's his, last year in Green Bay hairstyle. Jet fan just became an official Asmaniac by signing up the old-fashioned way. Boom. Love it. Love it. Let's see. J-Quest, Gator was very calm for Gator. Yeah, I was like, what's going to happen here? Because it's been a weird show. So I was like, could be something. Anyway, it's been a fun show, though. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Robby Sabo, who came on for the first hour. Reminder, support me on Patreon if you want access to the Discord, if you want discounts in the merch store, if you want bonus shows not on YouTube, and most importantly, if you want your name in the intro. We update the list of names at the end of every month. So you have a couple more days left in September to get your name added to the countdown ticker that we play before every single Jake Asman show. I want to thank the audience because we couldn't do any of this without you. Of course, you guys are the best, but we know that. Jet fans are the greatest, and we're finally having our season, baby. So let's go. Everyone enjoy the rest of their Tuesday. If you're a Met fan, good luck against the Bravos tonight. If you're a Yankee fan, let's clinch and be AL East champions. That does it for me. We're back tomorrow with 2 more shows. One in the 10 o'clock hour. 4 p.m. we'll be joined by Jeff Parles in his weekly spot. So I'll talk to you guys then. JETS. Jets. Let's go, baby. Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback. Don't you dare forget it.
And now for a word from our new sponsor.
If you're Hispanic, you know what I mean when you're up every time you were sick, and just rub this shit all over your body, and then you put a heavy blanket over you so you could sweat out the cold.
And that was medical advice with V-Man. Vicks Mo Dre. Hello, Dre.
Any self-respecting Puerto Rican is going to have Vicks on them at all times.
Latinos use this for everything. Literally, I would get cut as a kid. I'd fall on the floor, cut. My grandmother would try to put this on every... It's like, a cut, ponte Vicks. Damn cancer, ponte Vicks.
This gets me through, I'm feeling a little sniffly. You just pop this bad boy in. Vicks cures broken hearts, cancer.
Literally, Dr. Dre giving us some medical advice.
We don't go to the hospital. We don't want to find out what's wrong with him.
To a kid with a cold, it's love. To a mother, it's more. It's medicine.
You could be...
I didn't think I was going to get COVID.
You have COVID, Chiefs fan?
A symptom of COVID. I just feel like shit.
What symptom do you have?
Basically, you got the Ryan syndrome. You're not feeling well. You're sleeping like a bear in hibernation, all that little stuff.
I don't know if that's COVID. That just sounds like you.
Well,
I think you'll be okay. Did you say you had the runs?
That's basically.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
Bobby, that's enough out of you, all right?
I did drink a shit ton. And when you drink a shit ton, your immune system goes.
The Dolphins are done. Their season is over. Another concussion. You know why? You need an offensive line, you moron! And then this Mike McDaniel, he has no balls. He has no brains. He is an overrated piece of shit. He worst coach in the league. This team is pathetic, putrid, heartless, gutless, ballless, everything else.
It gotta be a curse, man. Oh my gosh. What else could it be? Like we can't never get nothing right. The Jets done leapfrogged us. Should we tank?
Let's go, baby.
RELAX. Relax.